Paris-Dakar Cairo Rally 2000 with Yakko, Euromaster, the European tyre specialist, and Mitsubishi.
This was the scene last night at Niamey in Niger, as Hubert Oriel gathered the press to tell of the decision to airlift the competitors of the 2000 Dakar all the way to Libya. Hello and welcome to Eurosport's Daily Roundup with me, Ben Edwards. Let's hear what Hubert Oriel had to say.
Suite à l'annonce d'un risque terroriste extérieur avéré encouru sur le Dakar.
Following the announcement of the risk of terrorist attack on this year's Dakar, warned to us by the French Foreign Ministry, we have decided to airlift all vehicles and personnel from Niamey to Saba in Libya.
Ont pris la décision de mettre en place un pont aérien pour transporter l'ensemble des personnes et du matériel du Dakar entre Niamey et les aéroports de Saba et de Wael Kébir en Libye. Cette opération débutera demain.
This operation will begin tomorrow,
le dimanche
the 12th, and continue until the 16th of January,
le lundi 17.
with the race restarting on Monday the 17th. So Hubert Oriel's announcement made to the press, and the competitors also receiving the news.
Bienvenue à Niamey, capitale du Niger.
Welcome to Niamey in Niger. It is a unique situation in the history of the Dakar. As you know by now, we have decided to stop the race.
Nous arrêtons la course ici et nous allons la reprendre
and we will restart
lundi
on Monday in Libya.
Mais la seule chose que je vais vous dire, c'est que je souhaite que nous
This is the only choice that we could make. It will be a massive operation to allow us to continue.
De ce Dakar 2000 qui me tient particulièrement à cœur.
It's a stab in the heart to lose a piece of this rally.
On devait faire quelque chose de fort.
It's a sporting event. Man against the elements. That's what it should be.
Et que malgré l'adversité, nous allons faire le maximum pour vous emmener au bout.
But we will do the best against adversity to lead you all through and continue the rally. And we will take you to the pyramids in Cairo.
Ce sont des hommes qui vivent une passion.
This rally is for people who live their passion.
Merci.
Thank you all. So Hubert Oriel getting a round of applause at the end of that speech and some reactions from competitors. For BMW, Richard Schalbert saying that Dakar always throws up new situations. The surprise on this occasion is just the type of problem. We have to make it all the way, and I think the organization of the TSO will help us do that, and we just have to hope that they bring it to a good conclusion. We've just heard from Hubert Oriel what's happening and what the plan is. The cars, the bikes, the trucks will all be flown to Libya. I think it's the only possible solution.
Zuerst die Autos, dann die Mechaniker und dann am Schluss die Lastwagen. Ob das möglich ist, wissen wir noch nicht. Wir werden die Information erst bekommen heute Abend.
I think it has to be this situation. It is the only possible solution. If they'd stopped it, then this would have been the very last Dakar. It would never be able to survive being stopped at this point. And an airlift, I think, is the only way that we can keep the event alive.
C'est la même sensation, c'est la même sensation qu'il y a 15 ans.
The same situation as in the past, but with a few differences. It was a tough decision to make.
C'est une décision sage.
But it's a wise decision, the right decision.
Difficile et courageuse.
A difficult one to make and a courageous decision.
Jusqu'au bout, elle est typique d'une organisation comme le Dakar, parce qu'en fait, si le Dakar.
It's typical of the great organization that runs the Dakar.
Jusqu'au bout, même dans les moments de crise. Je pense que c'est une tragédie pour
I think it's a tragedy for Niger and for Africa.
Tous les pays africains qui ont accueilli à bras ouverts le Dakar.
They welcome us so well here in Africa. I think many people in Europe moralized about Africa and the type of people who live here. But the Dakar is a great event and we are welcomed by all of the locals.
Moi j'appelle les oubliés du monde parce qu'il y a plein d'endroits ici où on vient, où on ne parle jamais d'eux parce qu'ils sont au bout du monde. Ils sont d'une pauvreté totale, mais d'une
It's a place that people never come to, the end of the world.
Je pense que pour l'Afrique en général,
it's very poor, but the rally is a great boost both financially and spiritually. And to have a major event coming through means a lot to them.
Je suis content que ça continue et je suis de ceux qui.
If people could only see how well we are treated, they would change their opinions about Africa. It's sad that we will miss some great places in Niger.
Pour ceux qui y viennent, ça ne laissera à jamais pareil. C'est une course exceptionnelle, unique en son genre, où on peut se.
Like it or not, it's a great race, a unique race.
Se révèlent à eux-mêmes. Et je pense que cette main tendue, comme disait Thierry, vers l'Afrique, doit rester tendue, quoi qu'il advienne. Donc,
and we must continue with it. And I think bravo to the decision, bravo to the organization. It's an amazing task to now transport everybody, but they can do it.
Je suis de ceux qui applaudissent à deux mains pour cet effort très spectaculaire.
So Jackie Hicks very impressed with things. Let's just take you back a little bit over the history of similar incidents on the Dakar. It has a history of sporadic terrorist attacks, the first coming in 1991 when a Citroën support truck driver, Charles Caban, was shot on the 9th stage. The next two stages were cancelled and the Mali army protected the competitors for the next part of the race. In 1992, on the Paris-Cape Town rally, threats from rebels in Chad led to the 7th stage being cancelled and the competitors travelled together in convoy. On a number of occasions we've seen single stages cancelled, but never have we seen 4 stages cancelled and an airlift of quite these proportions. In 1996, 4 years later, Laurent Guéguin was killed when his Mercedes truck ran over a landmine. And then last year near Tichi in Mauritania, a group of bandits held up a number of competitors, taking 4 cars, 3 trucks, a bike, money and belongings. The competitors were thankfully unhurt, and all but 2 of the vehicles were found within several days. But it was a very frightening experience for all those that were a part of that incident. This was Hubert Oriel last year briefing the competitors about what had happened. And thankfully there were no further repercussions from that particular incident. Coming up after the break, we'll see what the competitors have been doing today.
Tommy Mackinnon knows that it takes courage, dedication, endurance, and the will to win. So do we. Mitsubishi Lancer.
Morning.
Morning. You don't need to drive everywhere. And I'm only going to get the papers. It doesn't take much to do your bit for the environment.
Are you doing your bit to fight local pollution? Call 0345 86 86 86 and find out more.
As the countdown begins to the 21st century, there is still one number you can always count on.
Bond.
Bond.
James Bond.
This holiday season, one man will rock your world. The world is not enough.
On British Eurosport from Sunday, we're going down under for the first Grand Slam crown of a new millennium. Grand Slam tennis, the Australian Open is live and through the night from Sunday at 11:30 on British Eurosport.
It's British Eurosport's brand new Paris-Dakar Rally competition. And here's the question. When did the first Paris-Dakar Rally take place? Was it 1969, 1979 or 1989? We've got more than 100 official Paris-Dakar board games to be won. And there are portable video game stations for the runners-up. Call now to relive the Paris-Dakar adventure at home on 0906 614 0028 and play and win with British Eurosport.
Back to the Paris-Dakar Cairo Rally 2000 with Mitsubishi.
Welcome back to Eurosport's update on what's happening on the Dakar. They've got this day of doing nothing now. They've got several days, in fact, because it won't all be ready to start again until next Monday. The Antonov transport planes arriving this evening to start the ferrying operation. There's going to be 18 round trips to Antonov. They're the biggest transport planes in the world, and they're capable of carrying between 19 and 25 cars, depending on how you pack them in, or perhaps 3 or 4 trucks plus several cars. They've also got to transport the organisation's helicopters, so there's an awful lot of transportation to be done. They reckon it's going to cost about £1 million to transport all this machinery. Today's been a chance to clean up the cars a bit and to talk to some of the competitors. René Metsch looking after the Mercedes team this year in the T1 category, and a rally organiser himself. He says 2 things about this situation. The future of this event really is at stake now. Instead of 11,000 kilometres, it will be held over just 4,500 kilometres. The second thing is the cost. The price of continuing is extremely high. I think that doing this, an airlift like this, my reckoning, it would be 30 million French francs. But the decision to continue is definitely the right one. It's the one that has to be made. So René Metsch looking after the Mercedes T1 vehicles, but organiser of the Paris-Peking rally himself in the past, so he knows a lot about what he's talking there, as he admires the decision that Hubert Oriel and the team have made. Jean-Pierre Fontenay saying, well, for me, I didn't really have a particularly good day on yesterday's leg. In fact, I didn't have big problems, but a lot of small troubles. Not a comfortable day, not the sort of day I like to have. I like the days without troubles at all. The start, get to the finish of the special stage, take the win. But the reality was I lost some time, but not too catastrophic. I'm 18 minutes off the leader's pace now. My target is to win, so it will be difficult for me to achieve this target. I will keep on going with the 18 minutes to catch up. We'll have a new start, see what will happen. The general atmosphere here, it's a pity to miss the Tenerife Desert, but also to miss Niger, because it is important to cross this country. But that's the Dakar. It'll be a whole new experience. Jean-Pierre Fontenay then running in 4th place in the car section, and Bruno Sabi taking the opportunity to practice his golf swing today.
Sur le plan sportif, je pense que ça ne changera rien, bien au contraire.
In a sporting way, the Dakar is not over, it's not finished. We must go on.
Justement, j'ai profité pour feuilleter un peu ce qui nous attendait. ça va être encore vraiment très très copieux. L'essentiel du plateau est là, il n'y a pas eu d'abandon.
Everything is there, everything is ready to go. The first part of the rally has been very tough.
Maintenant, quand on fait le Dakar, il faut savoir que c'est une discipline d'aventure, d'improvisation.
It's an adventure doing the Dakar. Improvisation is what it's all about. It's still a great race. So Bruno Sabi and the others just taking the opportunity to clean up a little bit when you've been heading across the African savannah and into desert for 6 days. Then this sort of opportunity is extremely welcome, and in fact there were a couple of competitors who were so exhausted by this point that they're probably not too worried about the break. Hubert Oriel had more to say about the potential terrorist attack though today. Terrorists from the GIA in Algeria were planning to attack the Dakar. I can tell you that contrary to rumours, the information is not from the British, American or French secret services, but the threat is real.
On ne la connaît pas, elle n'est ni française, ni anglaise, ni américaine.
Et encore moins nigérienne.
Selon cette source qui a tenu à garder l'anonymat, le groupe commandé par
commander of the group is called Maktar Maktali,
compterait 300 hommes actifs,
a man who commands 300 men and is armed with over 40 four-wheel drive armed vehicles. He also has refueling capability. He and his men are dedicated to creating an Islamic state, taking in lands from Mali, Algeria, Mauritania and Niger.
L'Algérie, la Mauritanie et le Niger. Il disposerait d'une quarantaine de véhicules tout-terrain 4x4 et de camions-citernes. Selon une note diplomatique citée par la même source, il aurait décidé de s'attaquer au rallye Dakar.
According to our sources, the reason Niger was chosen for the attack on the Dakar is an attempt to embarrass this country, the army of which neutralized a group of GIA terrorists in 1998. So they think it's a revenge plan that Maktar Maktali had to get his revenge on the government, effectively, of Niger for disabling his previous military group. And in fact, a lot of the competitors somewhat shocked, everybody somewhat shocked to hear the seriousness of the situation. 300 men, a mini army this man was in charge of, and that's what potentially was the threat that the competitors would have had to deal with if they'd continued through Niger. So, scary thought, but of course the airlift will take place and take them over all of the danger areas, and the competitors will be able to start again once they get into Libya. So a tough day for everybody concerned. They will start flying out tonight and tomorrow morning as the planes take all the equipment. The other planes here that you can see, the ASO have 24 aeroplanes in their fleet, which will take all the people, but the machinery taken on those Antonovs. The people of Niger very disappointed. After the break, we'll take a look at what happened yesterday.